And in a tribute to the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, unveiled a bust of the iconic leader at Freedom Plaza in Tokyo's Edogawa today. The ceremony, held on the sidelines of the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting, was attended by the Edogawa Mayor, Takeshi Saito, and Indian Ambassador to Japan, Sibiga George. Now, the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, is on a two-day visit to Japan to participate in the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting. Jaishankar, who arrived in Tokyo this morning on the invitation of the Japanese Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa, will join his counterparts tomorrow to discuss regional and international issues, focusing on enhancing collaboration to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific region. On the sidelines of the Quad meet, Jaishankar also met the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and had an extensive discussion on regional and global issues.
We have gathered here today because Edogawa Ward and Mayor Saito have decided that they will build a relationship with India by having this wonderful statue of the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi. I was told this is a place, somebody called it Little India. I hope it becomes bigger. But this is a place where the Indian community in Tokyo lives and gathers in large numbers, and I cannot think of a more appropriate occasion and a better way of strengthening bonds between India and Japan.
Crossing over to my colleague Rishabh, who is tracking these international developments for us. Rishabh, we just saw that Dr. S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, had a meeting on the sidelines with the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. This, of course, comes ahead of the Quad Foreign Ministers meet. Tell us more about that meeting. What was the outcome of that? And also what the agenda for the Quad Foreign Ministers meet is.
Well, Aisha, good noon. Definitely in Japan, the Quad ministers, the foreign ministers of Quad countries will be meeting tomorrow. Ahead of that, today there was a bilateral meeting between Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar with his U.S. counterpart and Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Remember, this meeting comes first after Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Russia and strong comments that came in from the State Department of the United States. In the meeting was President Donald Lu as well, who is head of Committee on Foreign Affairs in United States Congress, and his statements were also not taken well by India. So this meeting was very, very important. While the U.S. has been criticizing Indian Prime Minister's meet with Russian President Putin, but the way India has stood stand and the way India has maintained that India is a neutral country, it does not support war, but also does not support an elimination of Russia. That is something that India has very clearly told West. And in the meeting as well, India has very categorically said that India will function as per its own national interests, not in the pressure of West or East. So that shows that India, while the world is in multipolar situation, India is very clear that in this multipolar situation, India will always prioritize its own national interests. It remains to be seen how the Quad meeting of the foreign ministers tomorrow unfold. But for now, the bilateral meeting between India and United States at foreign ministers level is quite important. That happened in Tokyo earlier today.